Hello. Happy Wednesday, May 27th, 2026. How is everybody? It's been an exciting day. It is May 27th, and hello, David. Hello, Russell. I finally got my car fixed from the accident I had in November. I look so happy and cheerful today. It is a complete front. A complete front. I'm not happy. I do not want to be here. But as they say, the show must go on. And these pens aren't going to fix themselves. I'm faking it till I make it, I guess, as the saying goes. Hello. By that, I would be fine. It's just that a lot of, you have one of those days that everything comes together and, you don't have enough time. I got a lot of stuff. I spent 4 hours today sitting at the car dealership waiting for my car to get... I went in with the oil change in mind and to check a check engine light. And, of course, now they charge you $200 to analyze the check engine light. And that just... What drives me nuts about that is I wish they would just say, okay, well, listen, we'll charge you $200 if you don't want to fix it. Then that's that. But if you want to fix the item that we're analyzing, then we'll take that, we'll apply towards the, the service, but they don't do that. So yeah. So and I got more work that needs to be done on the car, and then I got multiple boxes of Rhodia in today. So some new Rhodia notebooks and notepads arrived at my door. Not 30 minutes ago, so I really want to get those up on the site and finished. But it's it'll happen. It'll get done at some point. Tomorrow's Thursday, so it's almost essentially the end of the week. It's the end of the week for Lisa, so I'm good with that. Let's take a look at last order of business. Twisby Fluoride orders. Pens are available for pre-order today. They ship on Friday. So if you place your order today or tomorrow, they will not ship until Friday morning. You will not get a tracking notice until they actually get packaged up and shipped. So I'm going to start packaging them up probably tomorrow, but they go out on Friday. They ship on Friday. Hey, we got a Prime subscription here. Piano Pen Pal, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And for those of you who have Prime, a reminder, Prime is free to subscribe to your favorite Twitch streamer every month. Gabriel, oh, that's right. I knew that was somebody, and I couldn't remember. Everybody's got a different name on different platforms. So, yes, thank you, Gabriel. And what drives me nuts is somebody changes their name, and then I go, "Oh, it's," But anyway, all right. Let's have a positive rest of the afternoon. Let's do that, shall we? Let's take a look at what we got on the bench. Here's what we're going to start with. We got these two snorkels. You've got no sound. Well, I guess you can't hear me say that. Maybe later. You had problems yesterday, too. My mixer is moving along swimmingly, so I'm not sure what the problem might be. We got a couple snorkels. We got an Esterbrook. I have not heard back from the owner on this particular pen here about this crack in the section, so we're gonna wait on that. Yeah, that pen is nice. The problem is the section is cracked, and it is most likely it's going to leak. And it's a significant enough crack that it's going to be a problem, either immediately or at some point, or it's going to leak in the cap or something. So, I decided to stop repair until I could talk with a client and see what they have in mind. So Anyway, let's put these together. Let's make all of these things into a smaller component. We'll start with this one because this will be easy. So I might keep this a little bit short today. I've got another tray of pens. I want to get sacked. So then maybe tomorrow we can assemble them. That looks good. So this is a new sack protector. Mm. All right, so we're going to need to realign this. Hello. Oh, oh my what?
Single piece, it's pretty pathetic.
That's cute.
Hey everybody, I brought Brian a single piece of packing paper from my office, and there's a mound. Looks like a box exploded or something. Genevieve contributed.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Everybody says hi. I know, right? Bring him here once.
Now we have to give a separate award for my creativity. That is. Oh my God.
So our first entrant into the Cardinal Pens. What are we calling this?
Contest.
Contest.
It's a contest.
Shouldn't it have a name?
No.
First entry into the Cardinal Pens
See,
contest arrived
express
today.
yourself, and somebody expressed themselves in the cutest possible.
These are valve covers
for my wretched beast car.
for a wretched beast car of a little cardinal. Are they not the cutest thing? Either that or for our bikes. But they're adorable. I know they're so cute. I know I hate the thought of putting them on my car because people steal crap like that. But my car is black, so that might look pretty cool. But the bikes that we have that we could put those on, that have Schrader valves, we actually haven't ridden in a long time. So, I'll put them on a car, I think. I mean, why not? It's that sort of like little secret thing, like having a sport coat or a suit coat made, and the liner on the inside is like some funky special fabric that like almost only you see. So I couldn't believe it when I got this package comes in today, and it has got these in it. Like someone's on the butt. Like we just announced that on Friday. All right. It actually sits in there quite nicely. So the creative entry, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch Cardinal Pens podcast number 40 from last Friday. All the details, what we're giving away. Essentially, we're giving away a package, a Schaefer 100 Expressions, your choice, fine, medium, nib. There's a notebook we're throwing in a Midori journal, your choice of Schaefer ink, a little Cardinal bookmark, all sorts of cool stuff. But it's a write-in contest. Where'd all that ink come from? saw a fountain pen and pencil set list on eBay yesterday. They had a Schaefer set marked in the box as a snorkel set, but clearly it was not. What gave it away was when they showed the ink cartridge connected section. Oh, okay. And that might actually work here. So, yeah. Address details are in the on YouTube. They're in the description, and we mention them in the show notes. There's still some residual ink, but it's write-in only. The only requirement is your entry must include a cardinal. You don't have to draw it. It can be a cardinal stamp. It can be a card with the cardinal on it. It cannot just be the word cardinal, but it has to include a cardinal somewhere. Sticker, stamp. Valve, tire valve cover. I mean, you know, and ironically, it comes on like the day that they tell me I need like $2,300 worth of work on my car. But it's a really nice pen. The Schaefer 100 Expressions. It's beautiful. It's that blue to pink ombre, I guess you call it. I really liked it when they came out with it. I said that's a really, really nice looking pen. So, points for creativity doesn't necessarily earn you any. A winner will be chosen at random. So don't worry if you're not super creative. You buy a card with the cardinal on it, buy a sticker. I don't really care. But it must have a cardinal on it somewhere. Cardinal stamp, if you have one. And it runs until the end of June. So you've got a full month. To get your entry in. It's a very nice writing pen. Very nice. Like, wow. Seeing it right makes you smile. You're going to love this. I mean, snorkels are usually pretty good writer. This is really, really, really very nice. Yeah, I like it. You were hoping a desk set would be the prize, but it's a very nice giveaway set with the Schaefer. You'll have to learn how to fill it. Okay. I have a video, but since you're here now, let me empty this first. And we'll do it with the water, all right? I have a video, and I'll send a link to you if you can't find it on YouTube. Here's my water. The first time you ink it, you're going to want to put, let's see if I can focus this a little bit closer here. It'll back out here in a second. The first time you fill it, you're going to want to fill it up to and including this part here. You want to get the feed saturated in ink. Okay, just the first time. When you run out of ink and you go to fill it the second time, see if I can get this, zoom in on this. It's kind of hard to see. You see this little slit right here? That little slit right there is all you literally need to put in the ink. You know, what is that? A millimeter? Well, it's more than a millimeter. 3 millimeters. Okay. I'm going to seal this up, but what you're going to do is you're going to hold this and you're going to rotate this taper counterclockwise, and you're going to watch and I kind of push forward a little bit because there's a spring in there, and if you don't push forward, the spring can actually push this back. Most people will screw this up the first couple times they try to do it, but I push forward and rotate, and when it gets to be about that far out, I can actually pull out, and you can rotate this. You can pull out and pull your taper all the way out. Note, this is a good sign. You see this happen to this little drop of ink here. If the pen has good suction, and this does, you offer a piece of unsolicited advice for the specific pen, of course. And David's, I've done a lot of snorkels. David's probably done more than me. Since the taper is cracked, do not put lateral side-to-side pressure on the taper when you unscrew or operate it. Unscrew it and pull and push it straight in and pull out. Okay, that will minimize spreading of the crack. I bet it'll work for decades. Yeah, I mean, it probably would be fine, but yeah, I guess you just pull it straight out. If it has compression, when you pull it out, it will slightly compress the sac. Which means when you pull it out, it compresses the sac. It will shoot something out. So you always want to, when you're filling this up or you're cleaning it, make sure you have it either over the ink or over your cup of water or your sink or whatever, because otherwise it will end up on your, on your notebook, whatever. So now that I've got this out, and first time I do this, I'm just going to put it in, and I'm going to press down, and you're going to kind of do, I always think of it, I always think of it in the terms of how long it takes you to say the word one. One. And let it sit in there and count to 20. Anybody counting? I didn't count. Yes, when you unscrew the pen from the desk set, grab it by the barrel, not by the taper. Yeah. Because this is one of the... A lot of desk pens don't thread into the trumpet, and snorkels do. You forgot how to count? Yeah. Like 20 seconds. And it doesn't really need 20, but if you say 20 and you count to 20, it's enough. If you just say, 5, okay, I'm going to pull it out. Because the minute you pull it out, you stop. Even if you put it back in again, you're no longer going to be sucking ink up. So, and that got a pretty good squirt out of there, okay? 1. And you'll see the bubbles come out. 4, 5. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I recommend you know, and probably the first thing you do is practice with water first. Make sure you get that stream come out like that. You'll get one good stream out of this, and I think that's successful. After you've pulled it out, now obviously you don't want to do that once you've inked it up. You don't want to push it out because you want to keep the ink in the pen, right? Pull it out, and then now you're going to turn this clockwise, and you'll notice this will retract all the way in. There's a little bit of force at the end there, but you just kind of twist it. I have to hold it here because I don't have it sealed yet, but it should be easier once it's sealed up. It'll be nice and tight. And that's really all there is to it. Use your Waterman ink, which you already told us you had, and you're good to go. Same thing's going to apply to this guy. And since we have this one open, hang on. And like I say, I've got a video on how to fill snorkels and touchdowns. I'll send you the link to it if you can't find it. Yeah, school's banned them because of how far they shoot ink, up to 6 feet. So to give you kind of an idea what's happening here. So this part here is actually this piece, okay? This is the sack protector, which this goes in, okay? But this, what you're doing, this threads onto here. So when you're unscrewing and this goes over the top. When you're unscrewing the blind cap or the taper, you have to unscrew it to the point where it's no longer threaded to pull this out. Okay? If you try to do it in advance, what you end up doing is you're just pulling this whole unit, which then means eventually you're running into the end of the barrel, and that also means you're pulling this whole piece back. So you have to get it all the way unscrewed before you pull out, and then pushing down and then screwing back in is how that works. Yeah, I'll send you the link. So let's see. Oh. I'll find it right now, and then anybody who's watching can see it. Here it is. Oh, that's the same one. You beat me to it. Thank you. I literally just got it. For whatever reason, it didn't copy. No, that's a commercial. Oh, okay, okay. Let me see here. All right, here is, why does this not want to paste? I don't know why it doesn't paste. There we go. All right, there's my video. And for those of you in YouTube, there we go. All right. All right, so that one's good. So put this guy together. This one actually appears, excuse me, not to have seen ink. How is the Sailor anchor drop for May gone so far? It sold out in about maybe 36, 48 hours after I actually got the pens, which were actually a couple of weeks late. I wish I could have got more. Thought it might be new old stock from the store. Yeah, and this is a good testimony to just because it's dual stock, doesn't mean it's ready to go. The rubber O-ring hardens, and then if this O-ring hardens, then it can't possibly create a seal, which means it can't compress the sack, which means it can't fill. So, but the inside of the cap was very clean. Hopefully they'll do better on June if they have one. Yeah. We've worked a few things out so that it doesn't take so long next time. Yes, this is this is collector grade for sure. David is absolutely 100% correct. You just can't find them nicer than this. Maybe you could. Mandarin section and a clip hang tag maybe, but that would make it nicer. But those hang tags you can actually find, but it's really super clean. All right, since that, I want to make sure that kind of sits in place, so we're going to let that dry. And real quick, I'm just going to double check. Give me just a second. My client on the this guy here just emailed me. Okay. Figured as long as they had an email sent to me, I might as well send them back. Maybe I get a hold of them right away. All right, so I'm going to come back to this piece of paper later when we test the Mandarin. Test this guy. The box is in good condition. Had the price still in it. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's a couple $100 pen. Probably $250 easy. So if your grandfather never actually wrote with it, you can find snorkels to write with. It's not going to write any different from any other color snorkel. It's the color that makes this exceptional. This is a nice nib. Super nice 9461 manifold. All right. Cardinal Pens contest entry department. That's what those valve covers were sent to. We have a whole department for the contest. Yeah, no, nice Esterbrook. That's really, really nice patterning on this one. Quite lovely. Copper's one of the more popular colors. And no, I have not gotten my automated salad spinner up and running yet. Lock on here just does not want to stay locked. All right. Okay. All right, so we're gonna let this dry before we put it together and test it. Set those off to the side. I was digging through a parts bin yesterday when I noticed these two pens. They're both 52s. This is a lovely 52. Now it's got a manifold nib, but you know, not everybody wants a flexible nib, but it's got a kind of a disaster of a lever box going on here and no cap. Then I found this one, which is quite lovely. Decent lever box, clipless model, no nib. So we can swap the nib out and put it on this one. For your records, your snorkels mandarin orange in color, color code 8 in the service manual. One of the new colors introduced in 56-57. They're more difficult to find since the new colors were only made for 2 to 3 years and they seem to have sold in lower numbers. I'm guessing your pen came with a $15 price tag. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of these. This one actually did come apart the other day. And actually, the sack actually is pretty decent. Except down here, it's not. But it was threaded. This was soaking for, I don't know, a day, give or take. This one hasn't come apart yet. We're not going to do that one yet. So we got 1, 2, 3, 6. And this one, we got to put this ring in again. Question is how easy is it going to be to get this in? Let's clean this off first. Smaller, maybe. It doesn't want to grab anymore. So this pen has 2 rings. One to hold the lever and one to hold the lever in place. Which the trick is, this one's a little bit more difficult to get in place. Because I don't have enough room to grab this and twist it. No, not entirely necessary this goes in, but ah, son of a gun. I can do it this way. I almost had it. Really not what I had in mind for fun today. Do I have one of those? No, but I've looked at this. $20. Yeah. You've debated buying one. Yeah. I mean, in this case, it's a slightly different situation, but it might still work. Yeah, I might buy one of those. All right, so what do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna do 5 today. Um, that's so this is threaded, so I do kind of want it a little bit smaller. That will work. That seems a little bit better. Oh, I don't want to lose my cardinal. And once we're done with these, we'll swing back to that mandarin and see what we got cooking. I'm going to drop this in the ultrasonic because it's got some ink on the other side, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to order that tool, and we'll see if hopefully that'll get here by next week. This little Conway is really going to have a large ink capacity, all things considered. A little bit of interesting. This section has threading on the grip portion of this section. As if it extends beyond the barrel. I suppose if I'm buying some tools from Dale, I better look and see if there's anything else I don't need to, I can't live without. Last time I did this, I ended up buying 2 different nib pliers and all right, let's see how this nib is looking. But he had pink ink. Or maybe it was red in this pen. Not a big fan of threaded section lever fillers, but we'll see how this one reacts when it dries out. This, by the way, is an Esterbrook dipless rod that I found on the floor. Who knows how long it's been there. As I've got this pen out, we might as well clean it up. We might get lucky and just put that whole section in there. That way we don't have to worry about resetting the nib and feed. Well, it's gonna need to come out anyway. Um, so let's soak that. While we're at it, let's make our there's the original sack. Actually, it looks almost ribbed. No, I'm not keeping it. Okay. We're going to come back to that. We're going to try to see how much this leaks. Finding a section for this is going to be very hard. And would likely take hours if I have one. So what we're going to do in the meantime is I'm going to readjust this. So that instead of the crack being on the bottom, the crack is on the side. If it's on the bottom, you run into your possibly getting it comes out easily enough. It's hard rubber. If I put it on the side like this, gravity will be in our favor. Yeah, I think it is. It is. Yeah, it's cracked all the way through. It's most of the way in there. And it's on the side. No, it only extends down past the ridge. You think Captain Tollies will work on that? On hard rubber? Let me find my. I mean, it's a pretty tight crack, but. All right. I can see it going into the crack there. All right, we'll let that sit. Three or 4 days to cure. Okay. I haven't used this much. I got it for Namiki Sterling nibs. And that was the extent of it. Let's try this mandarin. It won't provide the best mechanical repair, but likely will make it ink tight. Well, if it works on hard rubber, that'll be I won't say a miracle, but this is a nice writing pen. Spin this out. We'll seal it up. Get those ready. Did the desk pen a fine? Yeah, I would say it's probably a fine. This paper, I'll send this along with you. This paper is a little bit absorbent, so you can see how this one writes a little bit broader than the desk pen. Yeah. Thank you so much for getting the 2 pence to work. It means a lot to have. Sorry, right with them. Sorry for the typos. You have a Scotty trying to watch the stream too. He keeps moving around. That's all right. All right. Those guys are done. Let's you've got a little patina on the nib here. You can see how the one on the right is much nicer polished. That would be easy enough to polish off. If you want me to do that, I can just certainly just wipe a cloth over it. Otherwise, we just leave it. It's up to you. It's not going to harm the pen one way or another. Usually I say if it's an older pen with what you might call an attractive patina, then I would polish it. Please leave it. Yeah. You can't keep your mouth shut. But you can do what you want. It will eventually patina anyway. So, all right, you're going to leave it. All right, very good. All right, those are done. I'll be in touch. We can get those out to you tomorrow. Oh, what is it? 3:36. I do think I'm going to swap these sections. I'm going to have to throw that in the deox. I just don't want to run into a situation where I would rather this section go with this. I'll swap the feeds out, but this section fits nicely in that pen, and this section fits nicely in that one. So so we're going to do that. That in there. Hopefully I didn't just put the same section back in the same pen. Let's just fit on there. Well, that'll work. I dropped it in there and it fell straight up. What are the odds of that? And something like this, I'm going to polish it because there's ink and there's crap on it. And I'm not keeping it. David's rolling over. You're okay with this one? It was dirty. All right. I won't say we're on opposite ends of that discussion, but I'm probably more liberal with polishing than you are. It is for resale. Yeah, there's no family history to it, so You almost never polish nibs. Yeah. If I have to knock it out and there's an ink line from where the section was in, the only real good way to clean that off is with the Q-tip and microgloss, and that's just how it is. Like I say, they're gonna patina on their own. Throwing them back in the case, it won't take too long anyway. But my real big exception is like most very early eyedroppers. I'm usually not knocking those out too often anyway, but those usually sometimes. I mean, the thing is they have to have been clean to begin with, um, and then they'll come out with a nice patina. But if they've got ink or they were pushed in too far or out or replaced or something, the patina's ugly, it will come back. All right. If you have to knock it out, it probably needs to be polished. Yeah, that's kind of the general. Um, I actually almost never. Probably never is a strong word, but I almost never polished a pen before I met Lisa. But This one I like. I like the patina, the oxidation um, on this pen. So we're going to kind of leave it as is, although it's got a very nasty amount of ink in the cap. Getting better. We can keep going at this. See, that's already much better. We can keep going at this for days, but just see what we get while we're waiting for the section to deox. It's starting to feel slimy. That's good. A little bit more. Doesn't take long sometimes. And again, that part doesn't need to be completely black because the rest of this is a little bit more olive. So we kind of want it to match, but you need to run, have a rest. Hope the rest of your repairs go well. Have a great night. Yeah, you too. Thanks. Appreciate you chiming in today. One thing for sure, when you do pen repair, you go through a lot of Q-tips. So just buy yourself your own container of cotton swabs. Don't steal them from the bathroom. You go through, they're relatively inexpensive. You don't have to get the most expensive ones, but we get ours from, I don't know what these are, Target or something. They're not name brand, but they're also not the cheapest ones either. You got to have something with the Q-tip, the swab that sticks. You learned that this week. Who knew Esterbrook 8 balls could hold up so much dried ink? Yeah, I mean, gravity's not your friend with those things. It's not your friend. You're getting somewhere, though. The first ones come out, they look like this. And then, and then after a few, they come out and they start looking like that. There's a little hope. I always make sure my Q-tip is wet when it goes in. And then make sure to rotate the Q-tip and so you get all sides of the Q-tip. So now we're getting pretty good. I mean, you could probably, like, as far as I'm concerned, if I dry this out, this will probably be good enough. And by good enough, I mean there's not enough ink in there for there ever to cause a problem. And over cleaning is never, is worse than sometimes not cleaning at all. Now, if I really wanted to, I could drop that in the Dr. G's. It would probably clear it up, or plug up these holes and fill it with Dr. G's. But inevitably, the Dr. G's is going to run out of the vent holes as I hold it up. And I'll risk having streaks of blackened hard rubber, which will then look worse. Hey, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it. 2 in 1 day. It's my lucky day. I knew coming on would be good. And then when you hear that squeaky noise, you pretty much got the oxidation, or at least that layer off. And that looks really good. It's not black, but it wasn't that light olive, and it's really going to match quite nicely. It's going to match quite nicely. And even if this part is slightly darker, that's okay, because typically those ends are darker anyway. I'd love for this to be not a manifold nib, but it's actually kind of a broad manifold, so might actually be a really super nice writer. It looks great. My favorite type of Waterman nib, a New York. Try to bring those tines closer together. I might want to keep this one. This is a nice pen. Well, we got this far. Let's put a sack in. I don't think I need to cut this one. Yeah, it goes like all the way down. So if you line it up, that's how far it goes. And because there's no actual J on the end of these, there's no actual J bar per se. It's more of a pressure bar, a horizontal pressure bar. You can shove this all the way down into the barrel. I mean, it goes, you see how far down that goes? It's about that far. Which is just a little bit deeper than the length. Technically it doesn't, I'm going to trim it off flat anyway, so. Nice little discovery in the parts bin. Always good when you can make something. I discovered it when I was throwing in a parts pen, a 15 PSF, which was actually a decent pen, except that it's missing the clip. The rest of the pen was fine. No cracks. I mean, it's heavily oxidized, but I couldn't find anything. I thought maybe I might have something that needed a number 5 nib, and I had a Canadian 55, but it needs a cap and it had a good nib, so when wrong country, so that didn't work out. So I threw it in there, but then I saw these guys. And since this is a clipless cap, I thought that's perfect. Sometimes you just throw things in your parts bin and you forget to look and see if you got something else to go with it. Let's give this a try since I'm feeling risky. I don't think it's going to work. I always take my ring off because otherwise it hurts my finger. Sometimes if you got to grip on something real hard, take your rings off. Nope. Boy, did that hurt. Don't try this at home. Currently chasing a Waterman 92 and a half cap. 92 and a half? 92 and a half. A short 92? What color? Black? It's plastic, right? I don't think this is coming open. I've been doing too much Parker lately because when you said 92 and a half, I thought, oh, well, that's a chased 92. Oh, it's not coming open. But then I remembered you said Waterman, which means it's, well, thin. It's the number on the base. All right, that's not happening. I don't know what we're gonna do with that. That's an awfully nice cap. I might just put it on something else and be done with it because that is just not coming open. Oh, 90. Oh, 92. I'm thinking of, sorry, I'm thinking of 32. Why am I thinking 32? So this wouldn't have had a speed line to begin with. It'd be nice to put in the correct seat in there. Let's see how well that actually threads in. I'll have to put one of my new units in, I think, on that one. It looks a little silly. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't have a 92. I wouldn't have a 92 cap. 32 maybe. Plastic maybe. Let's look. I just want to look at this. Yeah, it dries clear. Okay, so repeat sparingly 30-minute intervals until effective. Oh, was it effective? Has it been 30 minutes? It's been 30. So we'll see if it's. Leave that. All right. Tomorrow is Thursday. Yeah, just another part that's on the ever-growing list of parts you're chasing. Yeah. At some point you'll stop chasing the parts, and then you'll find stuff. Is really what I mean. Like this Waterman 52, for example. And what was it? Last week or 2 weeks ago, all the pens that I did were pens that were made because they were in the parts bin. Thanks to my friend David for finding them. But sometimes you're just too busy. You get a group of pens and you go, okay, well, this doesn't work. This is broken. Okay, it goes in the bin. I'm not even going to look. I'm going to move on to the next thing. And then every 6 to 12 months, you look back and you go, oh, okay, well, maybe I should look in there. Or you're searching for something else and you say, well, why is this in there? We should be able to make something out of this. And voila, there you go. Like this 51, I may never be able to get this out of here, but we've got a great cap that I can use for something. Maybe I've got a 51 vac with a blue that needs a hood. Maybe I need a blind cap. Need to apply some polish to this, but this is, and it's got that amber jewel on it too, so that's cool. So, so tomorrow Thursday, I'm gonna end it early today. I got some paper to check in. Big shipment of A5 Rhodias today. A bunch of stuff that's not on the website yet. So all that's going up. So if you like Rhodia A5, we'll have a good selection. Notebooks, side staple bound and top staple notebooks and top staple bound notepads. We just got in today. So I'm going to take care of those. Tomorrow, we will do 1 to 4-ish. And we will start with the Skyline, the Balance, the Wasp, the Conway, the De La Rue, and the 52. We'll assemble those, and we'll test those, and I'll get another tray of stuff ready to start. So it was a 3, 4, that's 6 pens. That's pretty good. So we'll get those done, and then tomorrow will be the first Thursday podcast. Yeah, this is kind of a nice pen. I don't have one of these. I really ought to keep one sometime. And really, really pretty straight at the lever box. There's a little bit of wear on the box, not the lever box, on the lever. But that's normal. Gonna double check all these. Normally they kind of spread out around the lever. There were a bunch of these in the Ohio auction last year. A ton. Every color. Striped caps, gold caps. I was on the short end of stick of every single one of them. We got to check the caps on these too. Oof. You have 7 of them? Wow. All the colors? right, well, I'm not going to start this. This is a bad idea to start this project. There's a ton of ink in this guy. So we'll do that. We'll clean the caps. We'll start on some new stuff. And we'll see how that. I think that section's probably. I don't think it needs any more applications. So I think that's where we're going to end for today. Because I got to pull out some pens to work on. Since I bought a bunch recently, and we bought some this last weekend, I got to pull out what seems to make sense. So, all different colors. Nice. So, anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Thanks for the subscriptions. Those who do on Twitch, I do appreciate that as well. Have a great evening, a great afternoon, a great morning, wherever you are in the world. Be kind, be well, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye now.